Y'all doing? Well, I couldn't wait to get into this because it hit close to home. I was born and bred in Buffalo, New York as a kid. And Jefferson Avenue is one of the most blackest places that you will find, especially in Buffalo. And if you know about Rick James, he wrote Jefferson Ball about that area. Used to go to a grease spoon in that place called Gigi's back in the day. Between Jefferson and Fillmore and all that, all that area. My grandfather owned a business in downtown Buffalo, the little casino. They turned into an apartment complex. It got sold 40 years ago. But anyway, the tragedies that happened there are not shocking or surprising. I'm still a diehard Buffalo Bills fan to this day, and I keep up with the Sabres and stuff. And I still got my father. I got family there. But Buffalo's always been a racist, backwards butt place, and it's always been hateful and divisive, and it's been openly like that. If you recall the episode 2 years ago when the protest for George Floyd and that white man who walked in support in City Hall, in the Niagara Falls City building, and the cops bullied him and knocked him to the ground and they were not charged, that's Buffalo. And they always been racist to the bone. It's one of the 10 most segregated places in America. So for some white supremacists to go there and target that area is not shocking or surprising. It's not at all, if you know the history of Buffalo. Buffalo does have intriguing culture and everything that's there. Uh, Growing up as a kid back in the day, my grandparents lived on Humboldt Parkway, lived off of Elm Street. Back in the day, went to a place called School 74. Mm-hmm. And my father went to Bennett High School, lived over there in those apartments behind that area too. So up and down that area, uh, you know. But there were episodes and things that happened there. But the thing is that this hits close because my grandma and I back in the day we went to Tops. We had a Tops that we used to go to. Still had the old bags and everything. Remember that, you know. And it's one of those situations where it hits so close to home, but it's just a reality, you know. Cause I tell anybody, I say, yeah, I'm a Bills fan, but Buffalo's always been racist and segregated, and so to hear this episode to happen ain't shocked or surprising at all. Surprised it don't happen more often, you know. Cause a mob used to run Buffalo, and it always was openly segregated. Hmm. When you go to Buffalo, you'll feel like you're in a time warp in certain areas, and they do that on purpose. They do that on purpose. But it's a known racist, segregated place. And it has some great qualities about it, but it's got a lot of negative connotations, especially when it comes to black and white. And that's a fact. And if you live there at a certain time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because the disdain, the hate, the reality is real. Oh, it's all over America, every place you want to go. Buffalo has a distinctive thing. And the thing about it is when people try to romanticize the East Coast or the North and they say, oh, this and that. And there's a lot of black folks who migrated from the South to Buffalo. My grandparents did that. And my other family members too. There was opportunities and situations, but there was also an open lynching mindset. hmm And they, you know, it's, I have a lot of different memories of my time there. And I'm not shocked or surprised by this at all. Not. Biden ain't gonna do nothing. Trump wasn't gonna do nothing. None of them gonna do nothing because guns are allowed and racism is passed down like a recipe. And some 18-year-old cat ain't no different than some 88-year-old white boy. It's the same thing. That hate is passed and it's allowed to manifest. The only thing is sometimes I'm surprised that they actually lock them up and arrest them because this has been going on. The Dylan Roof from Mississippi, these copycats, this white supremacist, this mindset is alive and well. And it infiltrates. And I'm going to tell you something. America don't want no change. They don't want no change. Because they allow racism to manifest. They allow this to go on. I can speak on it because I was born there and I saw things. And I've lived in different places in this United States and I didn't see different things. But racism is still alive and well. It's covered, coded, not so depending on where you live. But I got a nice fresh reminder of what my hometown has always been. And it's been open season against black folk there. Ain't nothing different. And this white boy knew exactly where he was going because he picked one of the most distinctive black areas in Below. And if you've been to Below, you know certain areas that you go to and certain areas you don't go to. And it was open season. And that was allowed. I tell you, he wouldn't go to Cheektowaga doing that. Mm-mm. There's certain parts that you just wouldn't even fly. But that's how it goes, sad to say. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another, and you can also follow me on Patreon. And watch out for one another, and also remember, racism is just passed down, and it goes around and around and around and around. It takes somebody to really want something to be different, but they don't want nothing different. Because if they keep pushing guns and they push white superiority and they don't, this is where reparations, this is where talking about the so critical race theory people. I wants to see DeSantis and Trump and Ted Cruz and all them who think that this ain't taught. Because what some 18-year-old cat know about Jim Crow and weaponry? I'm out.